What's going on, guys? I'm going to introduce you to a couple of different videos that I have here for the director Terry Gilliam. Alright, so the first one I'm going to start with, I just got this one in the mail. This is from the Criterion Collection. Alright, so the first one I'm starting with is Brazil. This is just came in from the Criterion Collection. This is just the Blu-ray. It's not a 4K or anything. But for the image quality, and I have watched plenty of 4Ks now, and this for a regular Blu-ray looks absolutely fantastic. And I've seen this movie several times, but this was definitely the best quality copy I've ever seen of this movie. This is a classic from Terry Gilliam. It has a lot of great actors in it. You got Eden Holm in here. There's several other people from the cast from... Monty Python's Flying Circus, where Terry Gilliam got his start doing also the intros. Those animated intros were actually Terry Gilliam's work. And this is just a beautiful copy of a movie. I mean, the inside is gorgeous too. I like that this book, you could actually flip it around and use it the same way, and it looks it looks so nice on there. But this goes so well with it that way, where you see him actually flying there. You see him actually, oops, excuse me. And just a beautiful little book here, additional to this. I mean, really, really great quality copy of movie. I mean, like I said, this is the original classic, and this is one of Terry Gilliam, if not his best work. I love a lot of his stuff, but this is the one that I'm so glad I picked this one up in the Criterion Collection. This is Brazil. If you haven't seen it, pick this one up. Great, great film. Don't want to go too much into the plot or anything like that, but it's got a great little story. And as an additional note, because we have Christmas coming up right now, this is kind of a Christmas movie. There's actually several moments in this movie that you will see a lot of Christmas themes. There's a part where they're actually practicing doing Christmas carols. There's parts in this where you see a lot of presents. Presents are actually very much a part of this movie. You got Robert De Niro also in this movie. Like I said, this is actually a really great visual classic in my opinion. And if you're going to get started with anything with Terry Gilliam, you got to start with Brazil. Brazil is, I will warn you, and depending on which copy you see, this one actually has the original bleaker, dark ending. But there is a other ending to this movie that's more of the really too happy to be true kind of ending for this kind of story. It's just so brilliantly made. Again, this just starts the great collection of what I think is probably Terry Gilliam's best works. And the one I don't have here is another one that I do love, and I used to have it on DVD. And that is Terry Gilliam's Time Bandits. It's not one that I actually have anymore. The original copy was stolen with some other DVDs of mine many years ago, but I do love that movie. I mean, that actually is one that I want to get back in my collection. I think they're releasing a 4K copy of it soon. I'm not certain. I know that there is the show and everything that even came out not too long ago that got canceled already, but the movie, that's another great one. It really introduced me when I was younger to Terry Gilliam's work, and it's a little more one you could watch probably as a kid, and it's a little more safe. I wouldn't call that one a kid's movie, even though it even has a kid as the main protagonist in it. But these next ones I'm going to show you, I don't have DVD cases for any of these other ones. But I want to start with another one that I saw several times when I was younger on like Showtime, and that's The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Just in case somebody could actually show this to Charlie over at Moist Critical, This is the movie that you knocked, man, when you saw it on a list that it wasn't worth watching in your opinion. Trust me, this is actually another great one from Terry Gilliam. You've got some other great performers in there. You got other cast again from the Monty Python, Eric Idle. There's again so many good performers. Uma Thurman's in this. This is actually one of her first notable roles in acting. Actually, she was technically, if you look this up, you can look it all up. I wanted to make sure I was right on this, and sure enough, I was. If you look this up, she signed up for this role without having any acting things on her career yet. This was literally her very first acting role. Now, there was a time delay for the filming and stuff like that, she ended up starring in, I think, 2 other films before she ended up appearing in this one. But this was her first actual signed acting role, and it's a great one. Also, Robin Williams, rest in peace, one of my favorite actors. Also. He's also in this movie. It's a small role, but it's a funny and memorable one, and it's so well pulled off by a classic comedian like Robin Williams was, especially at this time. This is a totally different time for when he was first even doing any kind of acting. And Terry Gilliam, I think this is how they really got introduced to each other, where he made The Fisher King with him. Which, that's not another movie that you'll see in my collection. I wasn't a big fan of that one. It was more of one that I think I appreciate it more when I'm as an adult. Just when I came out, I was still too young and didn't really get what it was about, because I had a totally different impression of what that movie was going to be. Another one that we've got here, I don't have these quite in order, but this is The Brothers Grimm, with Heath Ledger and Matt Damon in it. I actually really like this movie. It's a fun kind of fairy tale movie that takes a little twist with the Brothers Grimm, the way that, those different fairy tales are done with Snow White and does something different and creative with them, with, again, some great actors, some great performers. This was one of the last roles for Heath Ledger, other than like The Dark Knight. Another one that Terry Gilliam had him in was with The Imaginarium of Dr. Panarsis. Not another one that you'll find in my collection. But then we go from there to Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt in 12 Monkeys. Another absolute banger of a film. Probably, again, one of the top favorites of Terry Gilliam's of mine, that I just think he does such an excellent job in this movie. You really see a lot of that creativity and camera work that he was doing back even on Brazil. You see a lot of the acting performances of some of the, I love this one for Brad Pitt. It's one of my favorite acting roles for Brad Pitt. I think he's actually really great as this very insane kind of person, but almost makes sense when you're listening to some of these things that he says, that it's like, wow, that sounds like an insane person making the most rational, sane idea, or we'll move on to the one that probably almost everybody's going to know Terry Gilliam from, and that's going to be Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And this, I actually just realized, this is Criterion Collection also. This is only a DVD, but this is the Criterion Collection of that one. I think it's the only other one that I even have in my whole collection that is Criterion. But great film, great performance from Johnny Depp, great performance from Benicio del Toro. And it's just a absolutely, again, banger of a film. It's so interesting to see the history of this writer, Hunter Thompson. I know several people who read the books. I know several people that got really into the stories that he wrote for the magazine, and it literally got some people into writing, being inspired by him. So I mean, even though it is a movie that it definitely deals with drugs, and that was just a part of Hunter Thompson's life, because like somebody else mentioned, he was actually a very, very accomplished writer, a very, very smart writer. And it's what made him so engaging that people kept reading his stuff for so long, and just had a very interesting life. But Johnny Depp does an excellent job in that. And that actually ends all the ones I have for Terry Gilliam. But this is just an additional mention because I've seen a few people that don't even realize that Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is not the very first film that covered Hunter Thompson's life like that. The original is right here with Where the Buffalo Roam. And that's Bill Murray in the lead role instead of Johnny Depp. And that would also be the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond. Or you also would know him from Young Frankenstein as the monster in that. Just a very interesting, again, on the same exact character, same Hunter Thompson, and his life and everything, and just some of these things that he went through that while he was a writer, really well pulled off also by Bill Murray. It's very interesting to see Hunter Thompson played by both these very highly accomplished actors, like, of course, Johnny Depp, and see that in contrast to Bill Murray, because they really do have a very different way that they play the exact same character, even with the same exact mannerisms, the way they even talk with, that cigarette thing in his mouth all the time, and, they're the same kind of mannerisms of that person. They both got him down, but there's just even a way that the way they actually just talk to other people, that's where you see very, very differences in the way that these two different actors play the exact same person, just at different points in that writer's life. So that's going to end it. Yeah, unfortunately, that is all the ones I have right now. Like I said, I would like to get Time Bandits. I won't ever have Dr. Parnassus. It's just not a movie I really cared about. Again, there are some great actors in there, too. Like I said, rest in peace to Heath Ledger, being in that at all. But it's such... I like Terry Gilliam's very odd and quirky kind of way that he can do stories, but it's just one that it just doesn't really capture me in. It didn't really appeal to me as much as a lot of his more classic stuff. Like I said, you want something just to introduce you to Terry Gilliam's work, try Brazil. It's not going to be for everyone. This is definitely not one I'd suggest for kids. This is definitely an adult kind of film. This is definitely a thinking kind of film, but it's such a creative way that it even plays off of films like this one, 1984, in just a fantastic way that it shows it all that same kind of bleakness and everything, but has such a sense of humor it's a very dark sense of humor, but it just shows that how just even processing things like, death and things like that just becomes like a business to people. And it's very poignant to, I think, a lot of things that are going on more and more these days. So, yeah, if you guys, want to check one out, check out Brazil, check out any of these films. I definitely recommend these for anybody who like to check out some of Terry Gilliam's work that hasn't really looked at any of it. Is really a legend in the whole filmmaking process. There is so many great shots, especially in Brazil. I can't emphasize it enough. I think it's probably because I just watched it again recently, and I've watched this movie many times. I've introduced it to other people too, and just absolutely beautiful shots in it. Just some great camera work, great There's even some that's got a fantastic score to it too. The music is so lively and so. And when you watch this film, it's so well perfectly goes with the theme of everything that goes on in it, and it's just one of the best films I definitely would recommend in Terry Gilliam's work. So thanks for checking out the video. Like I said, this is just another introduction to out of the many films I have here. Just one of the great directors that and I like to do a couple more of these where I'll introduce some more of the whole films that I have of other directors that I'd really like. But I just really think that this one is one that more people should check out. So Chase over at AVA Pop Culture, if you're checking out the video, check out Brazil, man. You're gonna like it. I think as a film director yourself, I think you're going to appreciate a lot of the camera work that goes into it, and you'll see why Terry Gilliam is probably the most notorious one for using fisheye lens shots. All right, thanks for checking out the video, guys. Merry Christmas to everybody. If you guys like this video, please drop me a comment, throw me a like or something. I like to get feedback from people. I like helping other people out with information on movies. It's one of the reasons why I bring up some of these things is because I've seen other people and I've interacted with other people, even on YouTube, of other people that are just like, hey, you recommended this movie to me. I didn't even know this existed, like The Buffalo Roam. I recommended that to somebody and they came back to me like a couple of days later, like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you introduced me to that. I was a cinephile and I thought I knew that, and they even loved all these Terry Gilliam's other works, but they never even knew that there was this other film like that. So they were like, I like doing things like that. I used to be a associate representative at a big company that helped people with problems when they had problems with the dental equipment. So the thing I liked about that job was helping people, and that's what I like doing. I like introducing people to other movies, other things. I like talking about movies with other people. Been doing it since I was also in the Army all the time. And it's just a great way to break the ice with people in so many great ways. So, if you guys like this, please drop me a comment. And what's your Terry Gilliam favorite film? Is there one that I didn't mention here that you think it is better? Go ahead. I'd like to see any comments or ideas that other people have, as long as it's positive. I don't put anybody down in comments or anything like that. But if somebody's just going to tell me, well, all you did was get this wrong and stuff, well, I'm sorry. I do have some memory issues. So if there's something I did forget or I messed up a name, I'm sorry about that. I will try to correct it. I don't have a lot of ways to set this whole thing up other than on my phone. So I don't have, a computer or anything like that to do a lot of the regular kind of editing that I would normally do when making a video like this. But I've really been wanting to get more into this, so that's why I did this video today. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Appreciate it if you checked it out. And let me know if there's another director you think that, you might want to see if I got. I've got several of them. Like I said, first started with, I'm blanking names now. George Romero. This was Terry Gilliam's. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great Christmas and have a great day.